Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hey, sorry, a little delayed there. I was on YouTube trying to close it out before it went live. But a big fence up to all you guys. It's Friday, and that means it's good. Unless you're like shift workers like I always was. I understand, and it's not your Friday. Justin hustles on the weekends too. But for you guys that have the Monday through Friday jobs, happy Friday to you. Justin, how's the weather out there in Colorado this morning?
Nice and snowy. Nice and
Hey,
cold and snowy,
yeah.
getting ready to go shovel that driveway. But I was like, we did a couple shovelfuls. I was like, this stuff's heavy. I'm going to wait till all the snow is done.
Yeah. Hey, Back It Up Ben's podcast says, welcome back, Justin. So before we get into all of our little fun dolphin stuff, I'm going to ask you, and guys, remember, this is all for entertainment only, all fun. Justin will be the first one to tell you he loses a lot, but he has fun at it. So I'm going to ask him a couple of his picks for this weekend. So here we go, Justin. So who do you like in the first game? Kansas City. Before we get into points and all that, who do you like? I mean, with the point spreads, who do you like? And that would tell me your winner probably. But let's see, who do you like in that game? Kansas City at Baltimore. Baltimore's 4-point favorites.
I liked the point spread. I think it's set perfect on both games, really. I think it's the 4-point favorites. I'll take the Ravens at home. But I wouldn't take the points on that. I think it's going to come down to 3 points or less game. It's going to be a close one. There is a chance I think that Baltimore could they could start taking it to the Chiefs, but I doubt that'll happen. It'll be a close game like all of these games have been. In the divisional round was really close. I expect these championship games to be real close. If
Yeah.
you really want a good bet on either one of these games that's going to take place this weekend, you know what I found is I'll probably even put money in on it myself because I always do. Somehow, some way, I get suckered into it. Is go ahead and take a flyer at a tie at the end of the fourth quarter. That's what I think some of the best ones are for some of these games. Is they're going to be close, so you might get lucky and get that tie at the end of the game and win a couple $100 or whatever you put on it, and be like, "Damn, he was right." But that's what I like on them. I like both the way they're set. I will take Baltimore in the first game at home.
How about like if you had to do like just outright upset, like if you had to put money on one of the underdogs, who Detroit? I mean, Detroit is plus 275 and Kansas City's plus 165. So obviously Vegas thinks Kansas City has a better chance with the upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that's what Vegas thinks because they're riding that Mahomes jock, and they think it's gonna. They're Taylor Swifties too. They got a lot of that stuff going for them, and if you want to ride that entertainment value kind of thing, then maybe you can look at that as being an underdog. But I like personally, I think the Detroit Lions are a better underdog bet. I think this might be their season. It's got a nice feeling to it. If you look at the matchups right there that's set for you, you got Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, and the Niners. The only teams that's never won anything out of all those teams would be Detroit. So
Right.
I'm pulling for Detroit. I don't know about all of you guys, but I think they got the best chance at an upset. I know it's rough to go into San Francisco and knock them out, but Baltimore did it. If Detroit come in there, maybe put a couple up on them real quick, maybe they struggle. If Debo don't play, maybe it gets a little worse for them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, back it up in podcast seems a little opposite. He's saying take the Chiefs and the points, take the 49ers, give the points. So, hey,
Be
Michael
right.
K,
You
and
never
hey,
know, man.
Dolphin.
You could be right because this is how that is. That's why they call it gambling. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, those are just some, and I know you're not big on player props, so we won't get into all of that. But I was just wondering if anyone else has any player.
I don't know. I'll
props.
give you a player prop, or a couple of them out of that one. I'll guarantee you that McCaffrey scores an anytime touchdown in the Niners game. That's one that you can take that to the bank right there. He's going to score. I guarantee you that. Another one you can go ahead and put up there, it's probably a guarantee, is Lamar Jackson's going to score a touchdown versus the Chiefs. That's almost a given, I would think. Man, you want to know what? Last week I wanted to just puke. I had Josh Allen for 2 touchdowns, and I had Pacheco for 2 touchdowns. It would have been $500. And that last one where Pacheco was running down the sideline and got knocked out right at the end, I was like, damn, if you just would have scored out there, I'd have been like, whatever, it's $500.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
oh, well, that happens.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
Michael K.
That's why I don't like prop bets, though, because a prop bet's hard to win. Sometimes you'll be like 3 yards away, or like 1 catch away, or an idiot like me, like 1 3-point shot away, like I was on the Nuggets game a couple nights ago. Like, that happens.
Oh, I know. And then sometimes, man, you have a prop bet on a running back. Not me. Florida just really became legal to bet here in Florida just recently with the Hard Rock app, the only place you can bet legally on it. And I've never been a big gambler. I'm stingy with my money. I do have money in the stock market, so that's kind of gambling. But other than that,
gambling too, buddy.
yeah, it's gambling too, but it's long-term gambling. It's just ups and downs. If you lose a bet, you're not getting your money back.
No, you're right. You're totally right. Like me, I don't really like a lot of prop bets. Every now and then you'll catch me throwing like $5 or so at it. Like I was telling you before we got started, I'm more of a long-term bettor. Like I'll bet someone to win the conference in the NFC. I'll bet someone to win the conference in the AFC. I'll bet Stanley Cup winner. I'll bet a NBA Finals winner. Then I'll mix it with something else, and I'll do like a 4 to a 6 game leg parlay. But I've got like 3 or 4 bets with 49ers Ravens already mixed into it. Then one more with like the Ravens Lions. Then I had to go and switch it up because the Chiefs got in there, and then I had to go put one for the Chiefs in there, because if not, you want action in, so you got to put your action in where you know.
So you got a lot of sticks in the fire, whatever the saying is. So.
Oh yeah, I got a whole page of stuff that's written out, like a whole bunch of 5 game leggers that I'm writing.
And you just do it for a little bit. So
yeah, it's like $10 maybe a leg. Yeah. If I'm really feeling it, I'll go 20.
Just what you can afford to lose. You're not putting your meal money on it.
No, absolutely not. Like all those betting lines I have right now, I've got some wins on some of them. I got the Rangers already on a couple. I've got Michigan mixed with a couple. See, that's all you got to do is just mix them together, and hopefully you win real well. G-Man 28, Chiefs, and Baltimore 20.
Yeah.
Possible, bro.
Yeah, I know. So I haven't been. Now we're going to move on to the Dolphins for a minute. I haven't been talked to you yet since the Vic Fangio. I didn't call you. Normally we talk about the Dolphin news. So what's your take on Vic Fangio leaving the Dolphins?
I'm not happy with it at all. The reason why I'm not, I know many people probably are. I don't understand the fixation with let's move everything around every year. Let's move everything around every 3 to 4 years. It's the true definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. It's never going to change. Everything's just being done backwards in Miami. I've said it for years.
In their credit this time, I think this was more on him wanting to leave. So
yeah,
they have to let him out of the contract. No.
If I was him, I'd want to leave too. And I seen it like in the middle of the season. I could tell that him and Mike McDaniels just don't jive. Mike McDaniels is a family man, nice guy. That's great, but that's not going to win you a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Family guys, nice guys finish last in this league. I don't see any of them doing Super Bowls. You're looking for that rogue, that one bad cop. You know what I mean? That dude who doesn't have a family, doesn't have all that stuff like that, like Bad Bill. I'm sure he had family and all that, but no one like knew him behind the scenes. But you're looking for someone who's more like that, who their whole life is football. You know what I mean? And they can dedicate themselves to the Miami Dolphins. If I was the Miami Dolphins GM, I would make you a couple different things that I would do for the team. And that would be, number 1, we're going to fix this. And number 2, we're going to bring home a championship. And it's going to be done by drafting correctly, not by going and drafting this guy who's hurt every year and then getting another free agent who's hurt every other season and then a hurt running back. And everybody else that goes along with that. You're paying this dude $9.5 million who does nothing besides get hurt, and he's a one-trick pony. It does a lot with your scouting department as well. You got to get guys in there who see these things and like, no, he's a gamer. Like, I'll be honest, man, I got to give it up to G-Man. He was totally right. We don't have enough dogs on this team besides Wilkins and Sealer. Those are the only dogs that are really on this team right now. You might have a young pup and Jalen Phillips, but I think that's about it. I don't see a lot of dogs on this team. Like, that dude's an animal. That dude's a dog. Maybe Alec Ingold, but he's getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know, man. They need more football players.
I mean, they got a couple dogs. Your boy Zach Sealer. Don't forget your boy Jack Sealer. He's a dog.
No, I said Zach Sealer.
Oh, I didn't hear you. And Christian Wilkins might be gone. So
both those guys are dogs. And then the only other dog you can look on the offense and be like, that dude's a dog, would be Tyreek. But damn it, can you catch the damn ball when it really counts, dog? Like,
and I do agree with you on that take. Back it up, Ben's podcast. And on as far as that, it was poor job of vetting. But once it got to that point and he wanted to be gone, then I understand. That's why I'm disappointed it happened. I was thinking, we could be all cheered that we got him last year, all happy. We all, that's it. And then here you are 1 year later, he's gone. But if he doesn't want to be here, you're going to have a half-hearted guy being here, and that's not good for the team. So it's just.
That's got a lot to do with your upper management, what he's saying right there. Why did you bring him here in the first place if you're going to fire him? Who's the one doing the hiring? Who owns the team? Who's the one who's the one
wasn't
guy
so much of firing other than he wanted to go. That he's saying they should have vetted to make sure that they knew that he wasn't just going to leave us for a better.
It's not going to happen, bro, because of the dude who owns the football team. He's the one who's making all these decisions. Who's the owner of the team? Who's the dude who can't hire somebody that's right for the team?
I know that's where I do knock Ross, because he's willing to go above and beyond, but he hires the wrong people all the time.
You're willing to open up a paycheck to anybody, dude. I wouldn't let Mike McDaniel park my car right now. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it. Like, this dude is a great guy, good person, great football mind. But I'm sorry. That's when you fail to pivot in the middle of a game and you wait weeks, months, and then you pivot, but it's really not even all the way. You got to draw your line in the sand and be like, this is what we're going to do. And he doesn't do that, and it bothers me. And another thing that's bothered me from the very beginning about him, and I know everybody loves him. That's great. Kumbaya. How is that working out for you now? Is that he doesn't point out players' flaws. He only points out positives. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Then everybody just is like, I made a mistake because I wasn't out here quick enough because I didn't get my keys and my reads, and I didn't get to my spot, my landmark. No, man, I'm going to yell at you in that film room and be like, why the hell weren't you there? Be there next time or sit down.
I mean, we don't know how they are behind scenes. We don't know how they are behind scenes. But
you gotta get in these dudes' asses, man, or they're gonna think it's the free paycheck, and that's the whole problem.
I mean, they did get to 11 wins and they fell apart. I mean, let's just
they down like a prom date, man. We had a 3-game lead in the AFC East.
Yeah, I know, that was awful. Yeah,
you can't do that. And the reason why that happened is because of what I'm saying right now. He failed to pivot. He's like, no, I'm gonna throw screens and all these smoke screens and all this stuff besides trying to run and show an attitude of being physical. Just let your offensive line do what they're there for and block and run block. And I know we didn't have the right things to mix and the guys to go block downhill. Do it anyway. Yeah. Do it anyway.
But see, you said something good there that got overlooked. It may start as simple as the whole philosophy of the team.
It's philosophy
from the regional scouts, because Greer, let's face it, he's not going out there week to week scouting. It's the college scouts. So is Greer telling them, look for these players that aren't the tough, gritty guys that you want? Or is it just our scouts are so used to doing that year after year?
No, I think
I like to pick on Greer, but he takes what the scouts are telling him, and then he picks from what the scouts, they probably tell him, say 5 guys, and then he picks what he thinks is the 5 best among those 5 guys that happen to be on the clock at the time, the Dolphins are up on the clock. So because he's not going out there week to week grinding, going to, he goes to the big events, he'll be at the combine and he'll be at the Senior Bowl, but sometimes he doesn't even go to the Senior Bowl,
Well, the thing is he's got eyes. He knows what the best player is going to be, and the scouting department's just making suggestions, because that's what the scouting department's going to do is be like, look, you got all these options. Which one do you like? And I'm going to be honest with you. They have their big board, which isn't done up and down. It's done vertically, which is done across. Right. So they got a position, right? It's like a running back. They got the way I gave you the big board last year, and it's all done right across the line. That's how they have it up there. This guy first, this guy second, this guy
Where
third.
where are they going wrong in this process? Who's
Well, where
making
they're going wrong in the process is they're going with um, they're not going with best player available. They're going with what they think is going to be a steal
what
for
they
them.
need? They're going with a position of
With
need.
too many positions of needs, like a Noah Benogany. That doesn't need to be the pick right there, even if you think you got a. And the reason why he took that one is because he had 3 first-round picks right there, and he's like, that one's a flyer. And that's what he thought about it. But you can't do that in this scenario. You have to be like, you know what? I just got a quarterback. I just picked up Austin Jackson to help protect his blind side. You should have picked up another lineman with that. That's what you should have done, is you should have paired it with linemen to protect your quarterback. If you don't protect your quarterback, you're going to lose in this game. Bottom line. And if you don't run the football, you're hella going to lose in this game.
No, that's true. So somewhere in the, but it's been so long in I mean, we know how many general managers we've had, and none of them's built the winning teams.
That's what I'm trying to tell
not
you.
a winning team, but a playoff winning team. Let me add to that. We've had winning records, but we haven't had a playoff winning team since 2000.
Because you keep trading GMs every other year. Dude, we've had more head coaches and GMs and quarterbacks in this regime than seasons.
I know, I agree, but
come on.
Greer's had his chance now. And to me, I'm harder on Greer than you are. It's funny we all pick people that we're harder on.
Well, it's not that I'm not harder on him. It's not. Listen, you want to make a change? Let's make a change. But you're getting rid of all 3. And I hate people who want to pick around and see. This is the problem. This is the biggest problem is we want to get rid of things and we don't want to see things through. I do agree with you to some point. Greer's definitely had his chances. But let me ask you this. Who are you getting to replace him?
Well, that's what I say. I don't know because I'm not in those circles. But there has to be someone out there. You have to have the right guy that knows how to go find those guys.
Who? I couldn't even give you a name right now that I would think that could replace him that would be any better, or I couldn't. I don't know. Louis Riddick.
Yeah, but someone outside the organization that's worked for a winning team that has to, raid someone's. I mean, there has to be someone that's getting better results. I mean, let's face it. I could put you in there, and you can have some of the same results Chris Greer has as far as playoff wins, 0. So it's
the reason why that is because I'm telling you right now, man. I pegged it. I pegged this from the very beginning with this team. It's built backwards. You built it from the outside in. So you got all your skill players, all your cornerbacks, your receivers, your running backs. It's built backwards, and you didn't get your offensive line first.
Because
you needed
Chris Greer said that he doesn't know why we're all worried about the offensive line. Those were Chris Greer's words himself. He goes, "Oh, you guys are more worried about."
Well, they actually played better, but guess what? See, this is why it's such a fine line. It's got to be a perfect mix of chemistry. Your coach. Listen, your football team often plays like your head coach. That's exactly what the Miami Dolphins played like, just like their head coach. Hey, it's okay, guys. We're all still the best of friends. We'll see you again next year to lose.
Yeah,
that's what I got out of all of it.
Yeah. Hey, trenches first is what backing up Ben says. No, I mean that's you hit the nail on the head. Hooked up Joe had said that they need to use a little instead of a process. They need a little more instinct. They better have this, but they don't have that for whatever reason. And if they do have it, it's not working.
You know what? Instead of going with the what's flash and dash and what fits their system and position of need, go pick a 21st. And if the best player available is a tight end or it doesn't matter what it is, the best player on that board that's available at 21, you take him. And a lot of the times I think their issue is they're not taking the offensive lineman that's the best player available, Tristan Wirfs. How many times I got to go to a guy that we could have picked, could have had, and didn't get him? Morgan Moses, all these dudes that we should have drafted that we didn't draft. I mean, you had a chance to get TJ Watt on your team, dude, and you took Charles Harris. See, these are the things, if I was in his draft room, I would be like, Chris, you can't do that. You have to take TJ. You have to.
No, I know that TJ Watt made me mad too, man. When you even had the DNA sample, hey, like his brother's good, maybe sometimes DNA works, man. And you go for an unknown because he had a higher upside, maybe. But yeah, right, Charles. I don't know.
You know why he took Charles Harris? I'll tell you right now. like because Charles Harris was that speed rusher. Here we go again with this speed crap. Speed out of Missouri. You speed rusher over a complete pass rusher like TJ Watt. TJ Watt is what I call a power rusher. He's like got some speed, but he's not as much speed as he is power. So he's a perfect combination of what you're looking for.
And that miss by him led us to having to give up a first-round pick and a bag of money to Chubb. So these things all come down the road and start knocking you off.
Dude, it's everything you just said right there happens, and it compounds one by one by one. Let me give you another one. I know we love Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle too. He'll cut you up. Speed, 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 speed. Instead of going speed right there, you needed to pick Penei Sewell. The right tackle that plays for the Lions right now is the best tackle in the game.
So you're saying we should have never traded down. We should have just stayed at that pick and picked the best player.
I just would have took Sewell. I would have took the right player in the right spot when you needed to do it, and that was the pick you needed.
Yeah, that's right. You're 100% right. But he wanted to get because he wanted to get cute because the 49ers offered so many picks. He said, "Oh, let me go." But he should have. At that point, when we were building like that, they should have just kept that high pick. And
you just gotta take. You gotta take more chances in the trenches. You got to take more of them. You can't just go and be like, hey, I'm going to take a third-round flyer on this kid out of Tennessee. That's not going to work no more. I want my players drafted that are linemen, and I want them drafted out of the SEC.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Greer hired Flores. Yeah, no, but he's hired two coaches now. That's why he won't get.
Whoa. Greer can't hire anybody, I don't think. Ross is the one calling the shots on that.
Yeah, he's the one that pays it, but I'm sure he
goes. Ultimate person was the one who hired Flores. Look at Ross. It all starts at Ross, and then after you look at Ross, then you look at Greer, then you look at your head coach, then you look at the player director of personnel. Who is the player personnel director? Dan Marino.
Yeah. No, we don't. No. Yeah, he's just Dan Marino's like a figurehead, and he's like the guy that goes.
That's why I love Dan Marino. I'm the biggest Dan Marino. Look in the back, signed plaque. I love Marino, but he don't need to be there right now. We need someone else in the organization who can be the director of player personnel, who could be like, no.
Oh, yeah, that's what we need. We need a true director, but he's just a figure. I mean, he will always have a job. He's like Garfinkel. He's just going to have a job. He doesn't really have say in football operations.
I'm mad at that Garfinkel. I'm mad at you, boy.
Yeah,
I'm mad at you. Season ticket holders
what did he do real quick before
5 years deserve more than a lanyard that a first-time season ticket holder gets. I think that Tom Garfinkel doesn't treat people that go to their stadium, and I'm fighting for you guys, the real true fans who are the season ticket holders for 45 years plus, 25 years plus, who go in there and get treated like crap. It's a money heist. They got Tyreek Hill to put butts in the seats, and it worked. And now they're getting money out of you. Now you need to take it the other way around and don't buy their season tickets no more. So Ross will get out of there, and we could get someone in there who really wants to win. Yeah, the dude wants to win. He throws his money at it. But sometimes problems like this take more than just money. You need a dude in there who knows what he's going to do, who's going to put his heart, his life, his soul, everything on the line to make sure the Miami Dolphins win a ring.
Yeah,
that's it.
I agree. I'm going to go back to what Back It Up Ben's podcast says. There's part of the issue of Shula in his later years were drafting. Jackie Shep, Eric Kumaro, poor choices, hurt their organization for years. But just a funny note on that Eric Kumaro. And mind you, this is way before social media, way before anything. I called in because the Miami Herald used to be able to say, and I got quoted in the next day. I was wrong, but I said, I can't doubt Don Shula. And to this day, I have that old, because I was young back
That's cool.
then. I sat there waiting on the phone and said, I can't doubt Don Shula. And my quote made the paper the next day. I thought I was the biggest thing. Turned out, I guess I should have doubted Don Shula because Kumaro wasn't all of that. But it's just a funny note when I saw that Eric. I would never forget Eric Kumaro because of me getting quoted in the paper that day. I just thought it was funny.
Well, sometimes careers don't work out. Sometimes players get hurt. Sometimes you take a risk in the draft and it doesn't pan out. But that's why you got to take as many things that you're like in your mind when you look and scout them with your eyes. You're like, this is a for sure shot. This is a for sure thing. You got to take as many of those guys as you can. And they have to be dogs. You can't just be like, oh, he's got all the other skills, but he's soft and his attitude is soft. And when you meet him, he's like little whiny and eccentric. I don't want that dude on my team.
So I guess he says Giants only gave a certificate for a guy that's had a ticket for 50 years.
That's
So
ridiculous. That is
yeah,
piss poor right there by the management. Anybody doing stuff like that, and you're some GM or CEO of this big team like the Dolphins or the New York Giants or the LA Chargers, whatever. You need to be ashamed of yourself because you need to be doing a better job than that. That doesn't make me want to go buy a season ticket from you. It makes you look
yeah,
like a big POS is what it looks like to me.
yeah.
Yeah, unacceptable. Just
Hey,
ridiculous. I can't believe that.
John Boza, I think would have been a decent pick, but injuries derailed him. But
Exactly. Look, both of his sons are studs with this
no,
dude.
no, his son. I know his sons had better careers. I mean, the Joey Boza gets hurt from time to time too, but it is what it is.
Everybody gets hurt, man. This is a game of injuries. It's a game of attrition. It's a game of have enough guys in there who want to fight.
Yeah, you're right. At this point, Lance, no one's getting fired in. It's just at this point you're going because they've already done the scouting for the year. They've done. It's time after the draft that people start getting cut in the general
Yeah, it
managers.
doesn't matter if they did the scouting, if they're doing it like if they're look. When you were just talking, you hit on a very key point there. It was like 10 minutes ago. You started talking philosophy.
Right.
First of all, the guy who's doing all the grocery shopping for them is Greer, right? Because he's got his scouting department doing his work. Well, you don't think that Mike McDaniel and Greer sat down and been like, Chris been like, so Mike, what kind of players are you looking for? Yeah, he is. He's asking him that. And Mike McDaniel's being like, well, I'm looking for, a family guy, check your pulse. I'm gonna pass twice.
Oh, Justin, that's a horrible imitation, Justin. But
I don't care,
don't
bro.
give up your day job for
impersonations. I called it from the beginning, man. From the beginning, these analytical nerds. I know you guys think that's the way football's going down, but I mean, look who's in the playoffs now. I don't see a lot of besides maybe Shanahan.
I mean, Shanahan's not any big. I
don't know, man. He's a bigger football. Like, we're gonna drive it to him more than Mike McDaniel. I see Mike McDaniels get mad on the sideline once. Fix it. Big deal, bro. Sometimes you got to get in these dudes and grab them by the face mask and spit in their face and be like, "Go kill him!" And if not, they ain't gonna do nothing for you.
Well, Michael Kay, the Bills fan, thought it was a great imitation. I don't know about that. I tell you, it must be the cold weather to make you guys think.
Dude, the dude's too big of a nerd. He's a great guy. Maybe even a good football mind. I would keep aboard the staff, but he's not a head coach. He's not. He's just not. If he was anything of a great of a head coach, you would have pivoted in week 4 or 5, right after we beat the Broncos when all this crap started. You can't ride so damn high. We peaked too early. We needed to stick to his guns after all that big game we had. You need to be like, okay, now I'm going to run the hell out of the ball. You ended up finishing the season all lopsided in an unbalanced offense that passes way more than you run it. And you didn't run it in the cold weather games when you needed to. I just can't even get it out of my mind still. Like a fade pass to a 5'9" receiver on the 2-yard line on 2nd and goal. Who does this?
Yeah, no, you're right, Mark. That happens from me. I know. Which is funny. I'm gonna get to something that back it up. Ben's podcast has a video out right now about something similar to that. So I'll get that in a minute. But Bills kept the staff in place in 2017, but brought in McDermott and Bean. They ran the draft in the existing front office. Yes, teams do that because they don't want to fire guys because they're afraid, they're going to go expose all the stuff that we've been doing. So they keep them in-house so that does happen from time to time. So can it be done? Yes. But will it be done? No, because they're not.
Still didn't work out for them either because of wide right. I mean, damn, bro.
I know.
And I don't understand like some of these teams sometimes that see all this stuff like that Bass kid that missed that kick. He used to be a kicker for us and we cut him that year and they picked him up and he was kicking great. Now, like I'm sure he's probably getting death threats on his phone.
I know he is, man. Those Bills fans, Michael K. But hey, 50 is not bad, Michael K. You guys are warming up, so not bad at all.
Bro, it's like 20 degrees.
50 would be if it was 50 here in South Florida, but the news would be breaking in on how to make sure that you survive 50 degrees weather. Everything. Anytime we get below 60, it's like big news on. Oh my God, be ready.
You guys
take care of your plants. Make sure your dogs are inside. Make sure this, and that. I'm like, dude, it's 50 degrees.
What do you think about -11?
Yeah. Well, hey, that's where you are right now. Oh, yeah, no, in that game, yeah, that was nasty.
No, I'm talking. I was delivering. I was out there.
I know, Michael King.
In -11.
Michael King, most fan bases are good overall. It's the idiots that get all the attention. No, mine is. What is your temperature right today, Justin?
It's like probably like just below freezing, probably
Oh,
27
okay.
degrees.
Okay, so not too bad. Warming up a little bit, still freezing. But Bills, yes, most fan bases, I think most fan bases have decent people, but the dirty ones on the internet get all the attention and guys burning their jersey and so stupid, man. If you want to burn money, that's fine. Hey, it's your money. You paid for it. I don't care. But really, then why have to show the whole world you're doing?
In reality, they should be able to do whatever they want to it, because if you're not one of the teams that's playing for this championship this year, you basically burn the money anyway, in my opinion. I mean,
well, then I've burnt so much money in your philosophy, then, man, because I buy Dolphin stuff all the time, no
I was
matter
gonna say
what.
the same thing. I was like, I got a whole rack of wasted stuff.
So I could literally have a bonfire that people would come from miles around to see. It'd be so big if I burnt everything Dolphin I had.
Jesus.
So, it would just be, the police and fire squad should be coming down my neighborhood because it
I
would
don't know,
be
man. Like,
seen for blocks.
I'm upset that we lost, but I'm more upset for guys that are like yourself and people who go to the games and support the Dolphins and have for their whole lives and have got nothing to show for it. I'm in the same boat, but nothing like you guys. You guys are so heavily invested. The season ticket prices probably weren't that much back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
No, now they're through the
but
roof.
now they're
Actually,
like 30 grand a ticket, bro. Like, do you understand?
thank you for reminding me. I have a season ticket representative meeting, Zoom meeting today at 3:30.
Skip that meeting.
No, I'm not going to skip it because they're trying to weed out fake season ticket. I don't know. You still can probably fake it, but they think bots bought a lot of the season tickets, and
if we all stop, this is the thing. If we all stop, and this is on you guys. I don't live there. Stop buying the season tickets. Maybe the owner will be like, "Oh, I got a bad
until
product."
the TV revenue join. But the thing is, the TV revenue, they share all of that. So until they stop sharing that, and the owners are going to still be making money. It looks embarrassing to have an empty stadium, but that TV revenue that they split is it's getting bigger and bigger. Now there's going to be games are going to be on Peacock more often, and they're going to make more money, and they're going to have games on Amazon all the time. So it's just crazy, man. It's endless stream of revenue. And to back it up, Ben's podcast, he has a good, go check it out later, Justin. It's a good theory. What's your point on 2-point conversions? Would you go for 2-point conversions all the time, or would you not go, never, only when needed?
I think it depends on situation.
Because back it up, Ben podcast thinks that you should almost go for it every time. He made some good points.
Why?
Then I did a little research. We would have to get him on the show so he can say, or go watch his video and he justifies it.
I'll watch it, but I'm sure it's some analytical shit.
So, but he was just saying that, it's only 2 yards basically, and it's good. It was a good piece, and he had another guy debating on. It's like you and I. He was like for it, and then he had another guy saying no. And and then they both agreed basically it depends on the situation. If you have like a Lamar Jackson on your team, it'd be hard to stop for the 2 yards and stuff. So
yeah, I think I would be down to go for the 2-point conversions all the time until I lost that one first game by 1 point, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah, they shared all the merchandise revenue too. So he's right. But no, that's what he was saying about the 2-point conversion. But then I've only had a minute to look, so I just did the search engine real quick after watching it because I had to prepare for my show. I watched it this morning. So it's like 47% success. So not quite 50% success rates in the NFL. Of course, that varies by team, but the league average is around 47%. So if I would have saw it was like 50%, then I could say, well, then maybe, yeah, because you get it back anyway. The next time you get that point back. But
I think I would have a strategy as far as going for 2 points like that. If I had more than a 14-point lead, then I'm going for 2. If I'm in a close game, I'm kicking the extra point. See, I play things a little close to the chest sometimes. Like if I'm in a dogfight, I'm not giving you an inkling, an idea of what's coming next.
No, I know. And sometimes I think coaches chase points. Sometimes I think teams chase points too soon, when they're coming back, and then they start chasing points instead of just getting them, because like if they miss an extra point at some point in the game, they're like, oh, we got to make a 2-point the next time to make up for that. Just kick the extra point the next time too. And it's all at the end of the game, because before you know it, you run out of time and points. So just get the
Absolutely.
points while you can.
I think
But
there's a lot of
but
times where
yeah,
you try to take something you probably shouldn't. Like, say you're in your own end of the field, you're on your own 30, and you're facing a 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 21, 3rd and long.
yeah.
I'm calling like a delay run, a draw, a screen, something just to get maybe half of it back. And like Mike McDaniel's going for throats on 3rd and 21.
Yeah. Hey, but NFL teams are profitable. That's what I was saying, Cliff. You're right. They are. But what you would have to do is stop watching. But no one's ever going to stop watching. And gambling's just adding to the sensation of the NFL. Now that gambling's becoming more acceptable throughout the United States, it's just because and fantasy football. I mean, people that don't even follow. It's just crazy, man. It's just a growing fan base still. It's just they keep on bringing in people that didn't even watch football just a few years ago. So but I get your point. I wish I could not watch it. I can't though because it's just hard. It's like an addiction. I have to see what the Dolphins are doing. It's just always for how I roll. And I know I would love not to, but just part of who I've been watching the Dolphins since I started walking. So it's like I've been a Dolphin fan forever. It's hard to give them up. And do
I
they
get
make me frustrated? Of course they make me frustrated,
I
man.
get it.
When you haven't won a playoff game for 2 decades. A playoff game I'm talking about, not the Super Bowl. I'm talking about a playoff game in my
I'll be honest with you, man. Before 2020, there's numerous times where we'd get into a football season, like, and it reached like what, November, December, and I'd be like, well, our football season is done. And I would just go ice fishing, and I wouldn't watch none of the games because why? We're gonna lose, and that's
yeah, I
what we
know.
did.
Hey, I go fishing, but during dolphin season, I don't go fishing during dolphin game hours. But it just is what it is. There's been many days I'm like, man, why did I waste my time day off to watch this? Especially when I go to the game because you got to get there a couple hours early at least. Then you're watching the game. Then you're stuck in traffic leaving the game, and you're like, man, I spent my day and they lost. That's when you really feel like getting punched in the face.
And
But
guess
hey,
what? All those superstars like Reek and all those guys are like, oh, it's all good, man. I gotta go home to my superstar house, my $1 million pad dog, and my nice car and all my things. They don't give one rat's ass about that.
yeah. Hey, at least we made the playoffs, so we can't do the playoffs, like the Jim Mora back in the day. But hey, I just want to win a freaking playoff game, man. I'm telling you, I said it on the show here the other day. At this point, I think I would treat a playoff win almost like a Super Bowl win. I would think I'd be so happy. It would just be like that's where I've lowered my bar to, man. It's just we just can't get it done. It's been so sad.
It's Tua's fault.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, only if
Oh,
what about
damn, that's too good.
yeah, he I
Well,
like
what is that about Mike Vrabel?
he says if he would be, but I don't. I think Fabro would just wait until he gets a head coaching job
I'd
somewhere.
love to have Mike Vrabel as our coach. Yes, that's
No,
right
he's
up
talking
my.
about defensive coordinator right now, but so.
Yeah,
But,
I wouldn't mind that being the head coach right there. Like the personality, the philosophy is a
yeah.
lot different than what you're dealing with right now.
No, you're right, Cliff D, because we pump up our Dolphins every year. We buy in, and now at the end, we always have low expectations. But they'll probably do something this year to rope us back in. And I'm telling you, Justin, you got to keep me grounded. Even if the Dolphins get to 12-0 next year, keep me grounded because they really hooked me in this year. I kept on telling myself, "Oh, this year's different," and it wasn't.
Me too. They do it to us every year, and that's why
Yeah,
it's hard. But I'm going to stick to my guns next year. I'm going to really make them prove themselves. I'm done with all this crap. Like if you really are what you're supposed to be, you'll be there in the end then because I'm
yeah.
done with this one and done, getting into playoffs just to be knocked out. Like
Well, this is the
I'm
first time we
over.
made back-to-back playoffs for years. And normally it's like wait 4 years, oh, make it one and done, then another 4 years, no playoff, oh, a one and done. So at least we know we broke the trend a little bit. It
Lance.
is partially to us. Anyone that's wearing the aqua and orange is partially their fault.
Yes, it's
It's
partially his fault. He's the quarterback. Ultimately, he makes the throws. But
yeah,
don't tell me for 1 second, for one iota, that Mike McDaniel did anything to put him in like position during the playoffs to be successful. because I just don't agree with it. That game plan was trash.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of low expectation, Dolphins defense, we know. Oh, Michael K. Michael K. I don't even know what your take on the Buffalo game was, Michael K. And I'm sure he was there. I think he's a season ticket holder for the Bills, or goes to a lot of the games. But
I'll give you
it's
5
just
first-round picks for Josh Allen, straight up.
yeah, exactly. Uh, but I know. But
Because
the
that's
thing
what
is,
we
with
need at
Dolphins,
quarterback.
there's so much blame to go around in Dolphin land. Unfortunately, I mean, you could blame the owner, you can blame the general manager, you can blame the coach, you can blame the
I blame them
quarterback.
all.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately end result the whole organization hasn't won a game for all those years.
They
I mean,
don't
have
even
won a
care.
playoff game for all those years. And and that's multiple head coaches, multiple general managers. It's just crazy.
How many of them are at home right now? Like all of them. Think about it. Mike McDaniel, Tyreek, maybe Waddle is. All those guys. Jalen Phillips maybe is, and Zach Sealer and Wilkins are like, oh man, we could have won. We had such a good team, man. I'm still hurt about the season. Hell, they moved on right after the game. They're like, it's all good, man. I get a paycheck. Hey, where's my check? They don't care.
Allen lost that game trying to hit a home run when a single would have been better. Well, I know Diggs dropped the ball though. So that's what I was saying. I don't know why all the fans hate on Bass because if Diggs catches
Because he
there's
missed
so
the
many
kick.
things. That's why I say, man, poor kickers, man. They get no love. They only get
The
the hate.
hardest job in the NFL, bro. That's rough.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's rough. It's hard to say, but I really don't think Josh Allen was the reason why they lost that game. I'll tell you that. He played pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, he got lucky on the fumble that it didn't get
Yeah, he
returned.
fumbled. That happens. He's going to make
I know,
bonehead
but I
plays.
mean, yeah, he's great. There's no one that would love Josh Allen on the Dolphins. So I mean, let's face it. But he's not. So we got to do what we have to do.
See, and that's the whole problem with the scouting department is they pick players who are good in warm weather and where we play in South Florida and all that, not thinking in their mind like, hey, I might have to go to Kansas City in December. I might have to go to Buffalo in December. I might have to go
Well,
play
they know they're in the NFC East,
Baltimore.
so they know they have to travel to Foxborough every year, Buffalo every year,
Well,
and the
then,
Jets every.
then,
So
then,
one of those may be a cold game every year.
then
It's
we're really stupid because that's
yeah,
just dumb. You got to go get guys who can throw in the wind, who can run in the wind, who can throw in the snow, who can play in any conditions, and it doesn't affect them the way it affects Tua. I'm sorry, it does. I'm the biggest Tua fan you're going to find in the world, but let's face it, the guy has some limitations. If you want to have the dude playing at his highest level, everybody else around him has to be playing at their highest level. It's not going to ever work any different. And the problem I have with it is everything's got to be too perfect for the guy to be successful. It's the same problem we had with the quarterback who was here before, Ryan
yeah,
Tannehill. Everything had to be perfect for him in order to be successful. And I'm sorry, this is the NFL, this is football. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. So you got to get guys who can do what Tua can do and play off script and be successful in that same
yeah,
manner.
yep. So Bills lost to the um, Kansas City because the Chiefs were he and Mark's a Bills guy. Bills lost to Kansas City because the Chiefs were just a bit better last Sunday. No excuses. Yeah, that's how it goes. Aquavision, fins up to you. Timothy, fins up to you. I don't think I'm gonna open up the stream. I'm gonna let Justin run here in a minute, and I'll probably end the show a bit earlier than normal. But I just try to get Justin. I see you got your hockey stuff on there, Justin. So
Hell yeah.
I guess, but see, you still give teams all your stuff and whatever too. But at least those teams. But you got plenty of Dolphin stuff. It is what it is, man. We're gonna fan no matter what, and I know you're gonna be a fan, and you better at least do some draft stuff this year. Have you looked at the draft at all? Anyone or not
Yeah,
yet?
I've glanced at it a couple times, but I'll be honest, I'm not impressed with anything that's really up there, man. I'm not like, oh, this kid I haven't seen
Well, you
nothing that's
haven't scouted them yet, though, probably because I
nah,
know
I haven't
normally
really
you
looked.
say it, and then when you do, you end up finding guys you like. So.
Yep, that's exactly what will happen.
Yeah, but how about this kid out of because I've seen him mock to the Dolphins a couple times. The interior lineman out of Oregon, the Powers kid or whatever. What
Yeah, I
have you
like
seen
him.
him? You
Yeah, I
like
like
him
he's
at
got some
21
short
or you don't
I
like
got
him
some
that
short arms,
high?
but I think he makes up for it in a lot of other areas.
Okay.
Um I
They
think
say
he
he's a
could.
gritty, tough-nosed football player. So I
That's
know
what you need. That I wouldn't mind picking someone like that up in the draft at
Yeah.
all. There's
Yeah.
three guys that catch my eye right off the bat. He's one of them. The center out of Oregon, the interior lineman out of, or maybe he's a tackle, the Washington lineman. Forget how to say his name. And then you got the Fulalu, the kid out of Penn State. Those three right there. And then obviously my boy out of Kansas State. Telling you want to get better, dude. Just go get guys like I like. The kid from last year I scouted, Cooper Beebe from Kansas State. Guys like him and Powers. If you got the Powers kid and Beebe out of this draft, now you're starting to work with something we can work with. So you got to go get guys like that, guys who are gritty, guys who are going to make and finish their blocks, guys who can do both. Complete linemen.
If Michael K, I don't know if it's your birthday. Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Raphael Courtwright is wishing you a happy birthday. And Timothy, you can join me next Monday. On Monday, I can open up the stream. As you can see, I was a little bit tired today, man. I've been, rolling a little slow this morning, and now I got stuff I have to do. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Michael. See, he said happy birthday, Michael. I guess it's not his birthday, but how he asked
He's like birthday?
that. So or he just doesn't want to admit his birthday. Who knows with Michael K in the house. But
man,
never mind. He's just trolling. There you go.
A lot of work to do, man. Like all that money that's on the books, you got to somehow get your cap right first before you can do anything.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know that. But right now, what's your most number one position of need? I'm only going down the road. Number one, you can be generic. You can say offensive line, linebacker, you don't have to get specific, interior, center, whatever. But like
realistically, the number one position of need right now, realistically, you need an edge rusher. And the reason why is because Jalen Phillips probably won't be back until week 8. Bradley Chubb probably won't be back until week 8. AVG might not be back.
So if they get AVG back, would that fill a need for you if they get AVG back at least?
I guess he's hurt too. He might not be back in time for the season to start.
From what I hear, he's going to be ready to go to start the season. It's just he's a free agent, though. So
that's a free agent. Yeah, I think I'll go right there. You need an edge rusher because of the situation with the injuries to two of the starting edge rushers you have. You're going to start the season with Cameron Good being your edge rusher and like some dude that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, because Ogbah's going to be gone just for money reasons alone.
Yeah, Ogbah's got to be gone. And you're going to shake down Jerome Baker for sure. You're going to shake him down and be like, you got to take less money or we're going to cut you. And another guy you're going to shake down, if not just plain out cut, is going to be Xavier Howard. Or try to trade him. You're going to try to.
Unfortunately, with Xavier Howard, it's not until post-June, so that'd be like draft money. It will free up money for the draft class.
That's fine. You got to come off that.
Cut it before the June 1st designation. You
get
too much. It's almost all dead money.
Though that money right there is killing us right there. That money and Ogbah's money is putting us in a really bad situation right now.
Yeah, no, there were some contracts they shouldn't have signed, but
Oh, and then if you go over to the offensive side of the ball, it's even worse. Like I know Connor Williams is a free agent, but if you were to negotiate with him and come to terms, hell, he might not be back until week 6 or week 8. Yeah. See, those are the things you got to think about. Like, are they going to go into next season with some pass rushers you've never heard of? I guarantee you they sign a free agent, and I guarantee you they draft one.
Yeah, and then Timothy Washington, yes, they probably have outpriced themselves for the Dolphins because of where the Dolphins is cap-wise. They may get more money on the open market
than
most of the Dolphins.
Wilkins is super gone, bro. He'll get $20 million from anyone.
Yeah, I know, especially after putting up the sacks this year, when they told him that wasn't the thing he does.
I told you. And like the Dolphins, the only choice they would have is to franchise tag him.
Yeah, and then they have to free up a lot of money for that because it's right around 20, and you're already on the hook for Tua's 20-something million, unless they
see all the problems you have with this team. Like the money don't match. The contracts don't match. The players don't match the scheme. The philosophy's all wrong. Damn, you might as well just blow this damn thing up.
Yeah, I know. No, I agree. And if Chris Kerr does have dirt like everyone thinks on Ross, and that's why he doesn't, I would just give him some figurehead position. Hey, you're going to be the president of the ice cream stand over there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Pay him big money. Who cares? Ross has big money. pay him to do whatever, and then bring in a football guy. Give him like we can just tie him, whatever. But unfortunately, our Dolphins are still looking for that
So
first
many
playoff win,
problems,
while
man.
Detroit is about to play in the NFC Championship game. We know what, but Detroit doesn't frustrate me because they had years of struggle. But there's other franchises that I look at. Baltimore has torn it down so many different times and then played in multiple Super Bowls since we've last torn. We just don't do it. I just since our last playoff win. I'm not talking about going back to eons. Just
You
since
know
our last
what?
playoff win, the Ravens have been in Super Bowls with
Yep.
what was it? Bill Belichick, whatever his name is, Billick or whatever. What was the name of the coach? The first one that won the Super Bowl with the Ravens with Trent Dilfer.
Oh, Bellick. I remember.
Yeah,
I know.
Belichick, whatever. I always want to say Belichick, and I know it's not. And then so they win a Super Bowl with him with Trent, and then he's gone. Then they get John Harbaugh to go and win the Super Bowl. Now they're going to be back in the Super Bowl, maybe most likely with yet another quarterback. And here we are still grasping for straws. And the same with
Because
the
they got the
49ers,
right
man.
guy, because they hired the right guy. Like,
Yeah.
dude, we had how many times you turn on the TV on the weekend and watch the football and be like, hey, Todd Bowles, oh, he used to coach the Dolphins. Hey,
Yep.
Dan Campbell, oh, he used to coach the Dolphins. How many times
I know. No, it's very frustrating. I mean, it's very frustrating, man. The Dolphins just piss me off so much
you
all the
had the
time.
right guy? You had the right guy. I don't know how many people have said this before, but I'm going to say it one more time. I was a big Dan Campbell guy. I wanted to keep Dan Campbell when he was the interim head coach.
Right.
Dude, you messed up. You should have kept someone like that. That's the football kind of person you need who's the head. That's a head coach. How does the Lions play like their head coach? Yeah, tough, gritty. They come on, man.
Yeah.
How do the Dolphins play? Hey, what's up, guys? We're all still the best of friends here.
Yeah,
You like my
I
new
know.
Burberry sweater?
No, you're right, Timothy. If we end up losing him, it was so stupid not to trade him. Yes, fans would have rioted. They would have been mad, but at least they would have got something for the future, knowing that they're in this cap mess. But they didn't think ahead. They should have. If they were going, he's talking about Wilkins, saying that if they are going to,
either him or X, you should have traded to think ahead for this moment now.
Yeah.
You know why they didn't, Timothy? Because they thought in their feeble little brains that they were seriously going to make a run with what they had. You seriously thought that this flash and dash crap that you put out on the football field was going to really work. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Campbell is coach of the year. If he doesn't get it, the fix is in. I agree with that, Mike. Okay, he should get it. Hate to agree with Michael K. I don't say those words too often, Michael K.
Don't hate to agree with the Bills fans. Dude, their team's built better than ours is.
Yeah, I know. But they still haven't got to their ultimate, Dan, because they're already
team's built from the trenches out, not from the outside in.
Yeah, but they're just one step ahead of us. Where we want to get to where they are, but they want to even go to where Kansas City is, and where that's where.
Yeah, I get that, Rob. But
level.
tell me one team in the NFL that builds their team from the outside in. I'll tell you one: the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. No one does that. No one, and that's why.
Well, I don't know about that. At least that one time you said something intelligent, Michael K. But the thing is, yes, the Bills they haven't gotten that next step, but we haven't gotten to that step of winning a playoff game. The Bills have won a lot of playoff games now. They just can't take that next step and get to the big dance, and that's where they fall short. So, but at least they're a lot closer. We can't even get to the playoff winning dance. So, I would at least we have to take that step first.
You know what? I hate to be that guy, but I felt better about the football team, and I know that he created a lot of problems with the quarterback because I don't like the way he talked to me. But Flores had more of a coaching personality that I like than Mike McDaniel. Remember that game versus the Bengals where dude hit Jakeem Grant on that special teams play?
Yeah, he was ready to go
fight. He came out there wanting to fight somebody. That's the coach I want. That's the dude I want to run through the wall for, not this little nerd.
Yeah.
Done with this, man. Tired of this crap.
We are using our speed wrong. We should be running no huddle. Yes, we should do stuff like that. I agree, but
we're not smart enough to do that.
I don't know, and that's where
we couldn't get the play terminology in quick enough to do all of that, Timothy.
Because I would love to see an up-tempo offense with the crew we have, especially when you get a mismatch out there and don't put any replacements in. You go, don't give them time to adjust. You just keep on, but we
I
don't
hear where
do
you
that.
guys are going with that, but the Dolphins don't go after mismatches like that. They've proven that to you in the season. They had a mismatch during a game versus Buffalo with Cedric Wilson versus a guy they brought in off the bench, and they didn't even throw it to him.
Yeah. So I don't know, it's frustrating. Here I said we were going to end it,
Coaching
and I'm almost at.
philosophy. Coaching philosophy. Because you got this dude over here calling plays off of an analytical clipboard instead of being like, the game is getting kind of physical. Maybe I should run it up the middle. Damn, bro, this isn't rocket science.
Yeah, he likes your impression. I think it needs work, but he thinks it's priceless. So there you go.
Bro, I'm
You gotta.
frustrated, man, because I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. And the reason why I'm really pissed off is because I knew this from the very beginning when we signed this dude, man. I knew it. And the reason why is because he's in over his head. He's too soft. He's too young. And not only that, then when we brought in Tyreek, man, I remember, Rude, I made a comment on Tyreek's post. He had Rick Ross, all this flash. I'm like, are you here for the right reasons or are you here for money? And I knew I was right, bro. So.
Yeah. Well, he still has
D-Hop,
a chance
hell
to prove
no. I
us.
don't want no D-Hop. I don't want no one who's old. No one.
Yeah.
I don't want no one who's old unless your name is Derek and Henry.
So there you go. Well, Justin, thank you. Now you got to go shovel snow out of your beautiful driveway in Colorado Springs. So, hey, I'm sure though you get a lot of people, you get a lot of deliveries done on these snowy days. So,
Oh, yeah, man. It should be pretty good today. It's been kind of a little slow the last couple weeks, but it'll pick up.
yeah. All right, Justin, thank you. So, final words on this weekend. Who are your winners again? In case people didn't see.
I'm taking Baltimore and the Ravens, but I'm really, really pulling for the Lions to have an upset.
Yeah.
My heart is with the Lions, but my gut, which I only bet with my gut, is definitely Ravens Lions or Ravens Niners. Ravens Lions.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, that's what you're. So you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be the chalk? The two favorites are going to win. And
Absolutely. I think it's going to be the rigged pick from the beginning of the year where they had it all rigged with the purple logo with the 49ers on top. It's all rigged. This is a rigged system. Go look at how many times that's actually come true to make you sick. I'm just waiting for the one time they rigged this thing up with the right color scheme in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Colorado down.
Yeah.
So hey, there you go, man. All right, Justin, it's been fun. Hopefully one of these years, Justin, you and I are talking about the Dolphins playing in an AFC championship.
Oh, God, that's got magic coming out of your mouth, man. That would be so great.
Yeah, that's what we need, man. It's been way too long, man. Way too long. So hey, that's it. I'm looking for the closeout video. You guys rock, guys. Thank you. Life's great. Justin, you're awesome for coming in. Be safe out there
like
driving
subscribe
around.
button, you guys.
Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe. Thank you. I forgot to even say that today. Like and subscribe. Later, guys.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won, for all things